Here's kind of an unusual engine I've been playing around with for the past couple days. I picked this wheel horse Commando V8 up for 150 bucks, and it has the original Kohler KV181 cast iron block engine in it. This is kind of unusual. Most of these were replaced with 6 horsepower Tecumseh vertical shaft, because these were bad about blowing up. People wouldn't make sure the oil was full, and it would starve the connecting rod. This is basically a Kohler K181 turned 90 degrees. Other than the carburetor's a little different. It's your standard type Kohler Carter carburetor, but they moved the mixture screw for idle up to the top rather than it being on the side. And it's got a little different throttle and choke plate because of its horizontal orientation. And then it's got this intake manifold adapter compared to a regular K181 where the carburetor would just bolt right to the engine. This also has the breakerless ignition system, which Wheelhorse used on some of their Charger and Electro models with the electric PTO clutch to make sure there was enough current to charge the battery. But some of these were offered with a standard coil, some were offered with the breakerless ignition. It was just whatever the OEM of the engine ordered. You can see they capped off the original exhaust port and ported out the bottom. Probably just for this specific tractor. Some probably still ran an exhaust pipe out of there. This is the only one of these engines I've ever seen in person because they are quite hard to find. This is the oil sump on the back. All of the oil is contained in here. None of it's actually in the crankcase. And through a bunch of check valves and engine vacuum, it's pulled from here to the top needle bearings, then to the connecting rod, then to the bottom ball bearings, and it oils the cam as well. And then all the oil gets returned back to this oil box. That's kind of a strange design compared to a standard Kohler with a splash type lubrication system. If we move around to the other side of the engine, there is the electric starter motor, and you can see over here that there is no drain on the crankcase. There's just a drain on that oil box. This is just like a K181, just a vertical shaft. As I said, there's not a lot of these around anymore, and there's very few videos on them either, so I figured I'd make a video of mine, because this engine's actually in pretty good running condition. I plan to keep it on this tractor, just to keep the tractor original. It's a 4-speed, or actually 3-speed plus reverse, Wheelhorse Commando V8. It's in pretty decent shape for being from the late 60s. This engine is from 1969. You can see they most likely just took the standard Commando 8 label and then stuck another label over it that says V8. That was the vertical shaft version. This is a garden tractor though, as it has 5-lug rims and a cast iron transaxle up underneath. So there were tillers and plows you could buy for use with this machine, even though it's rather small. This is the most impressive part about this engine. It still runs great.